Monday threat tonight.
Stop! 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 Take your hands out your pocket!
These are treacherous times to be a police officer.
Take your hands out your pocket!
Where fear of making a mistake endangers their lives.
If you don't stop, I'm gonna tase you. I'm not playing with you. Take your hands out your pocket.
With often lethal results.
Take your hands out your pocket!
Officer Quincy Smith was blessed that day and is now almost fully recovered.
It's best to tell my family I love them.
But there's no guarantee for police or firefighters or EMTs. And if it's treacherous for those in the line of duty, what of the families left behind when public service ends in personal tragedy? The 200 Club of the Coastal Empire exists to shield the children of first responders from a life of want and poverty without their breadwinner. We care for those who care for us. August 29th, 2000, just after midnight. Camden County Sheriff's Deputy Sergeant Dan Jenkins pulls a car over on I-95, suspected in armed robberies in Florida.
There was a stolen vehicle. There was a be on the lookout for BOLO alert.
He stopped the vehicle here on the side of the road on I-95 northbound. When
the officer said step away from the car, said let me get my license.
Turned around, says I've got it right here, reached in the car, came out with a gun and shot Deputy Jenkins.
The incident lasted 20 seconds, 18 of which the officer was being shot.
A newcomer to the area with a business in Midway, TAC Argentinas went to Sergeant Jenkins' funeral.
And I saw that there was a widow following the casket with 5 children. And I went through the whole ceremony, and when everything was done, I met with the sheriff, identified myself, and asked them what benefits the family had. And he said, we're a small county, not much of a pension, but she has a job with the county that makes $20,000 to raise 5 children.
The dilemma struck a chord with Argentinas, whose son Chris had chosen police work in Wareham, Massachusetts.
I didn't want him to be a police officer because of the danger, until I realized that it wasn't a job. It was a calling.
In December of 1999, Christopher was chasing a suspected drug dealer when he was killed in the line of duty. He left behind his wife Maureen and 2 sons, 3.5 and 5.5. Fellow officers consoled Maureen by telling her about support she never knew existed.
We're telling my daughter-in-law not to worry because the 100 Club would take care of her. The police chief said it's a secret organization of businessmen, and when we lose somebody, they come across with a lot of money. You know, complete strangers. I even offered to send the money back because I felt I was in a financial position to take care of my family. But they would not accept it. They said it was in honor of your son.
With Christopher and Sergeant Dan Jenkins in mind, TAC hastened to form the 200 Club of the Coastal Empire, along with a handful of business leaders who rushed to support the organization whose efforts stretched from Beaufort and Jasper counties to the Florida line.
He came initially to me and Harry Haslam and said, I need you to help me start this club. And, you know, we went out and, as I said, we didn't have a lot of trouble. We went out and recruited 10 or 15 prominent business people in the community, and it went from there. All of them go ask people, and everybody says yes when you go ask for that.
The risks they take for all of us, they're on the front line, and I just admire them, and I really applaud them for what they're doing and thank them for doing it too.
What happened to the families of first responders before the 200 Club? Sadly, in much of the area we now serve, their personal tragedy grew into a financial one, and their children bore the burden of their sacrifice.
A lot of cities and towns, I'm told, across America just don't have funds for this.
They have very poor benefits in most places in Georgia. If you're a sheriff's deputy in a rural county or in a small town, frequently they don't have any kind of benefits other than very, very minimal. So I think what the 200 Club tries to do is to provide initial immediate assistance to everyone who's in that very sad situation, and try and ease the burden for their families as much as we can, and then to stay as kind of a support system for the family on through the children being in college and so forth. So we've had many cases where they're just very, very sad cases in tremendous need, where I feel like we've been a big help to some of those families. A guy or a woman goes out and puts their life on the line to protect us every day. The least we can do is make sure their families are taken care of if something happens to them.
We at the Heritage Classic Foundation just don't honor the heroes on the green. We honor our hometown heroes with WTOC.
See who the next hometown hero is. Each week, WTOC salutes someone who makes an extraordinary difference in their community. If you know someone who deserves recognition, nominate them at WTOC.com/hometown hero. They could become our next hometown hero. Watch Wednesdays on the News at 5 on WTOC.
Sponsored by the Heritage Classic Foundation.
Thanks for voting us Best Mattress Store for 8 years in a row. We're honored. I personally select every mattress line. We're Savannah's largest mattress superstore, specializing in gel foam, organic latex, and adjustable mattresses. We're locally owned for 2 generations. Thanks from Green Frog Sleep Center.
You need cash and you need it fast. TitleCashNow.com can get you the most cash at the lowest rate guaranteed. No credit check. We'll pay off any existing pawn. No interest for 45 days. This month only. Let TitleCashNow.com solve your cash problems today.
Imagine your world turned upside down. That's what happened to me when my husband was killed. I had 2 children, 2 daughters, ages 4 and 14.
I didn't even know who the 200 Club was. Madeline wasn't even 3 yet. They were a support when I needed it the most, and I think the biggest thing was they showed me that I wasn't alone.
They told me that they would not leave me, which I didn't believe at the time because so many people say that and then they go on. But Tuesday of this week was 14 years and they're still there.
I mean, caring for those who care for us forever. We never stop. As long as the family will let us be a part of their lives, we will be a part of their lives each and every year throughout the year.
It's helped out one of my brothers who just passed, Corporal Tron Lewis, helped out his family a lot, and just knowing that there's someone there, people there to help you out when times are difficult and you need, just need a little extra hand in things in life, just to help you keep going.
My youngest daughter, Morgan, she's right there. She went to college with the 200 Club. Mr. Argentina approached her. She first was very reluctant because we did not know about them. We thought it was like some type of charity. We didn't want to accept it. But reluctantly, he continued to talk to her, and she accepted the donations, and we found it very fulfilling.
See, initially, I did this for a selfish reason, to honor the memory of my son. It didn't take long to realize that this was sorely needed. And this was the most powerful vehicle to express the gratitude of an entire community.
June 15th, 2012 was the worst day of our life. We just live with it daily. Every time something comes on the news about an officer or something, it just peels that scab right back open again. It's helped these kids a lot, a whole lot, a whole lot. God bless for the 200 Clubs, all I can say.
It's a tragedy to have to be there, but it's a blessing to be able to be there.
Just knowing our profession, knowing we don't know what's going to happen at any given time, knowing that there's an organization that's going to take care of our families, that's going to make sure that their needs are taken care of, means a whole lot.
Unfortunately, things happen in our line of work, and oftentimes the families are forgotten. The 200 Club, the purpose of the 200 Club is really to be like a silent service that comes in time of need, when people are, everyone's grieving over a loss. And, you know, we do what we do in terms of honoring our fallen member, but the families are often forgotten. And the 200 Club is the service that actually picks that up. Because if there was not a team in place to help motivate and keep people going, they would not be able to come out here and do the job. And I think overall public safety would suffer. Knowing that you have, that your family will be taken care of, takes a lot off of the responders. It makes us know that there are people such as the 200 Club, an organization that actually understands, and they know what's important, and what they do is they go about and make sure that the families of the fallen are taken care of. That's invaluable. Without that, I don't think anyone can do their job.
Let's talk craft beer. Eagle Creek Brewing Company is Statesboro's hometown brewery hangout. Enjoy our awesome local brews that cater to both domestic beer drinkers and craft beer fans. Great times, great beer, great atmosphere. Eagle Creek Brewing Company.
Dan Vaden set out to change the car buying experience, starting a tradition that's endured almost 50 years. Today, the Vaden way is getting way better at the newly remodeled Vaden Cadillac Savannah. Our commitment to improving the customer experience hasn't changed, but our new showroom has never looked better. Check out the all-new Vaden Cadillac Savannah today, or shop online at VadenCadillac.com, where value and selection are way better. That's the Vaden way.
Grab a drink, kick back, and play at Eagle Creek Brewing Company. Challenge your friends to fun and exciting games while sampling Statesboro's finest craft brews. Enjoy live music and entertainment from talented performers. Great times, great beer, great atmosphere. Eagle Creek Brewing Company.
Each year, the 200 Club hosts the Savannah Mile, a sanctioned run appropriately held on Memorial Day. There are divisions for kids, for competitive runners, for first responders who run in full gear. As with everything the 200 Club does, it's an all-volunteer event run by the club's leadership and organizations who donate their goods and services.
Mark, tell us why you're here as a Savannah Strider.
Because I'm proud to support the 200 Club and the great people who take care of our city and keep us safe. They're the real heroes for the city, and we're so grateful for them.
Whenever you're ready, locate.
Starting off the memory walk for the families of the fallen is hotelier and businessman Mark Dana, who succeeded TAC Argentinas as president of the organization. Mark's career included a stint in law enforcement, where he came to understand the commitment the first responders make.
During my time in law enforcement, it was very, very heartbreaking that we lost so many of our members of the department. 5 members when I was with the department. One was my lieutenant, one was my training officer. And so I saw firsthand the impacts that it has, not only on the family emotionally, but then longer term, the financial impacts that it has. So I had a good understanding of what it means to lose a breadwinner who, by the way, isn't doing it for the money.
For Mark, this is the meaningful part of the Savannah Mile, when the families remember the sacrifice that brought them together in this place.
Knowing those people and what the 200 Club has done for them, and seeing those kids walk, in honor of their father, it's just a tremendous thing.
At one point, when we did about the second or third time, I called a couple of the widows because I thought that they were coming because we gave them money and they owed us to parade themselves. And I told them that I knew this was emotionally very difficult for them, and I would fully understand if they didn't want to come. They should be under no obligation. I had missed the whole boat. They said to me, this is the one time every year that my husband's death is honored in the middle of Savannah. You think I would come?
Least we can do for these people and their families that have put their lives on the line.
In 2001, the 200 Club of the Coastal Empire was incorporated with the simple mission, we care for those who care for us. In May, Bullitt County Deputy Sergeant Wilbur Berry would be the 200 Club's first line-of-duty death when he was killed while investigating stolen goods in a suspect's house.
At that time, we had 12 members, and we had $7,000, and we gave it all.
For the family of Sergeant Berry and all the families supported by the 200 Club, there's no red tape and no publicity surrounds their actions.
When we got home from my son's dad's funeral, there was an envelope on my door that had been overnighted, and inside of it was a check to pay for our Thanksgiving dinner. His funeral was the day before Thanksgiving. Of course, I had no idea who they were.
We're there for immediate financial relief. The red tape, the hoops people have to jump through to be able to claim federal insurance well, the bills come on the first of the month every month, and we want to make sure that personal tragedy doesn't turn into a financial tragedy. And
I met with them, and it was pretty much, we're here to offer immediate financial assistance. We don't want a burden placed on the family members left behind. At that point, they gave me a check, told me that I needed to get all of my bills together, that they would be back in touch with me in 2 weeks, which they did. They took care of some other things. Since then, they've sent my son savings bonds every year. They send checks at Christmas to pay for Christmas dinner. They send checks at Thanksgiving. They send me flowers on Mother's Day. And they will pay for my son's college education.
They don't know who we are. They don't know what we are. They don't know what we want, which is nothing, because we ask for nothing in return. And when we get introduced and we give them the envelope and they open and see the check, that's when the crying starts.
All kind of is in a fog, but when that fog lifts and you realize that you've got a family of community leaders helping you raise your child without your officer, it is truly something that has helped us for the last 10 to 12 years.
After the shock wears off, you realize that you have a lot of money that's owed to different entities, and having an organization that can come and really relieve that financial stress, and then set up a plan to where all family members can go to college at absolutely no cost. That's room and board, tuition, books, computer, everything. I think is probably the most important thing that we can do to offer that family financial independence.
The 200 Club provides immediate cash to pay off bills coming due at the first of the month. Then they take care of any other outstanding debts. They send roses on Mother's Day, savings bonds for birthdays, dinner for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and a college education for surviving family members, regardless of grade point average.
We pay all of their expenses to go to college. That means laptops, books, room and board, tuition, everything. And they don't have to have A's, as many charities will do, because we're not doing it for merit scholarships. We're doing it because the father would have done that.
future.
2 whole minutes in the future where you already got financing from DriveTime.com.
You even know your down payment.
There's no way I could know all that in 2 minutes.
Are you calling you a liar?
So you guys figured out time travel and you can only go 2 minutes?
Yep.
You warned us you'd be difficult.
I am difficult.
See your financing in 2 minutes and shop over 10,000 vehicles. The Drive Time Machine, only at DriveTime.com.
Chevy is the most awarded car company 3 years in a row.
Really?
Let's see how quickly you can read through all their awards.
Kelley Blue Book 2016 Best Resale Value.
U.S. News Best Car for the Money. 10 Best blah, blah, blah.
Only about 90 more to go.
Oh, gosh.
2017 IIHS Top Safety.
2017 North American Car of the Year.
That's a lot of awards.
Great, now I'm going to have to go buy a new car.
Visit your local Chevy dealer and check out the award-winning Chevy Malibu. Get 20% below MSRP on most 2017 Malibu models. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
In 2008, firefighters rushed into the exploding buildings of the sugar refinery to rescue those trapped or hurt in the flames and debris. Their efforts and those of other first responders are acknowledged every year at the Charles Morris Center when the 200 Club hosts the Valor Awards, an upscale celebration to recognize their heroic deeds in the line of duty. The event creates an even stronger bond between law enforcement and the community they serve.
They just need to know that every day that they strap it on or jump in their truck or put it on respond to a call on a 911, that there's somebody else here looking after maybe not them, but their family.
Thank you, Buffalo Soldiers. Thank you very much.
The 200 Club's leadership in recognizing the contributions of first responders has drawn support from other areas of the community, like the Buffalo Soldiers, who designate the 200 Club for their charitable giving.
And we give to the 200 Club to help those family members of fallen firefighters and policemen.
You guys doing all right in there? We'll get you out in a second.
The day of our interview with Mark Dana was also the day the elevators got stuck at the office. As if to punctuate Veterans United Home Loan's $10,000 donation, they first had to be rescued by first responders. That only gave them more motivation to help an organization that 6 months before they hadn't even heard of.
And what we found out that they did is incredible, the work that they do for the first responders and their families. So it was an easy one. It made sense to give it to them.
The $10,000 is much needed. Each line of duty death involves about $250,000 in expenses, money that ensures the security of the family that's left behind. And in recent years, the 200 Club has also begun to provide benefits to first responders who are critically injured, so that their families aren't devastated by their acts of public service. All of those dollars express the community's commitment to the police, firefighters, and EMTs who stand between us and certain disaster.
There's none of us, myself included, who doesn't benefit from the services of the police and firemen and the first responders on a daily basis. That a small contribution towards the families of those who are left behind isn't warranted.
Oftentimes when you have a loss of life, you see communities come together immediately, which is so wonderful. But that support oftentimes wears off, and it's not because that they don't care, but there's other tragedies and there's other things that happen, and so when we step in and help the families, it's a long-term commitment.
If something occurs, we know that the 200 Club will be here for our family in the future.
When you're injured in an accident, the Eichholz Law Firm makes it easy to get the legal help you deserve. You don't even need to come to our office. We'll come to you. Or with today's technology, you can sign up your case directly from your computer or smartphone. End the runaround and hassles from the insurance company. Our job is to make it easy for you. Just call 912-222-2222 or visit thejusticelawyer.com and put our team to work for you. The Eichholz Law Firm, the Justice Lawyer.
The
the 2017 Subaru Impreza. It's the longest-lasting vehicle in its class and a 2017 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus with eyesight and steering responsive headlights. The 2017 Subaru Impreza. More than a car, it's a Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Lease the 2017 Subaru Impreza for only $90 a month for 42 months. Complimentary maintenance included at Chatham Parkway Subaru in Savannah, home of the lifetime warranty.
We know that you haven't heard of the 200 Club. That's deliberate. The last thing we want to do is to draw attention to ourselves or rain down publicity on a family in their time of deepest sorrow and confusion. But the reality is that we cannot sustain our efforts to care for those who care for us without your support. We're committed to police, fire, and EMTs from the Florida line to Beaufort and Jasper counties and all points in between. Our hope is that each of the communities that we support will also support us. The price of an annual membership is just $250.
Because we have so many counties that we represent and over 6,000 members of our first responder family, we would love to have the individuals, the community members who live and reside and depend upon our first responders in those 20 counties to spread the awareness that the organization exists and for everybody to understand that 100% of the proceeds that we get goes to the families.
I think that it's important that police officers and firefighters recognize that the public is behind them. There's so many people who are tearing them down or criticizing the one guy who made a mistake or the one bad apple in the barrel that sometimes people forget we got thousands of men and women out there standing up for us all the time, and we need to let them know we stand for them.
Our mission is not a one-term, one-time interaction with these families. It's forever.
Yes, they were an angel. I don't know what I would have done without them.
Please, join with the one organization that cares for those who care for us. Please join the 200 Club of the Coastal Empire.